What's up, everybody tuning in? You know, it's been a little while since I've made a video. Just dropped my kids off of school, going back to getting a work truck, and heading to location. We're wrapping up a 200,000 square foot job this week, and it's been hellish, man. Most of the time I get pretty good cooperation out of the management system, and this time it's you know, just a big pain in the ass, the scheduling conflicts and not blocking off the right areas and not moving cars and stuff. But you're gonna have that kind of problems, man. So, you know, one thing, I could preach it all day long, but the one thing that we all got to do is just, you know, be patient, man. Every day is a new day. And even if you own a business or work for a business where you're, you know, the lead guy or whatever, and a lot of people watching my videos, I'm learning, are those who's trying to start up, you know, and are facing problems that I faced in the last couple years, and you know, even people who's facing these problems, you know, year 3 and 4, and you're still facing the same kind of problems, and you just haven't had the right guidance. So I wanted to address a couple things, and I'm still a little unorganized because, man, I'm swamped, man, right now. Going on, got back from Hattiesburg the other day, doing a big apartment complex out there, and went to Illinois a while back and bid at a job there. So I haven't been able to make a lot of YouTube videos, but I've been posting a few things on Facebook, Instagram. If you guys haven't liked my Instagram, please go like it. Chris Love, K-R-I-S, Love, L-O-V-E. And I'm not sure. My username is L.A.S. LLC. So L-A-S LLC. Find me on Instagram and like it. I do little 1-minute skits on there about, you know, just topics that people's private message me about or whatever. So a couple things I do want to talk about. Somebody messaged me the other day on Instagram, I believe it was, and they asked me about the hustle, you know. And I think the hustle is one of the easiest things. It's hard, but it's one of the easiest things to possess because it's not material. It's all you. It's what's developed inside of you. So until you really get that drive that's deep in your soul, you're not going to be able to hustle at a level that you think anybody else is. So if you think I'm hustling harder than the next guy or the next guy, you're sadly mistaken. I'm only hustling as hard as my body and my soul will let me. Now, it may be on another level because I'm just, you know, I'm more passionate. It's do or die for me. And anybody that's starting up this business, I don't care if you're 16 years old or fucking 70 years old. You know, when you start up a business, man, and you want it to succeed, you hear inspirational speakers talk about it all the time. You have to want that business to succeed more than you want to live. You have to be willing, you know, metaphorically, if not literally, you have to be willing to die for what you want. So, you know, every day I wake up, I see my wife, I see my little house, I see my 3 kids and my dog. And before I step out the door, I think, this is what I'm doing it for. This is why I get up. This is why my bones hurt. This is why my muscles hurt. This is why I hustle and I work harder than anybody out there. There's nobody that's going to outwork me in my area, in my game, in this field. So I am determined for success. That's why I wake up every day and I believe it. Whether I achieve it or not, I wake up every day, I say it, and I believe it. So, you know, until you can believe that deep in your soul, you're never going to reach the level that I'm on, or the next guy who you know, is succeeding is on. Believe it in your soul, believe it in your bones, and tell yourself every day that you are going to succeed. This is what I got to do to succeed. So let me tell you a little bit about you know, plans of actions. A lot of people have been messaging me about, you know, well, what are you doing to get business? So I put this in a comment a little while back, and I said, you know, it's a little different on what areas you want to target. I live in an area that's population is about 300 to 350,000 people. It's very highly populated business areas. There is lots of residential, but the money in my area comes in corporations. So that's what I've attacked. You know, I go for the last 2 years, well, not last year, but the year previous and the year previous to that, for my first 2 years in business, I was very unorganized. I would just get up and I would go into town, and any business that I saw that needed a parking lot striped or damaged asphalt, damaged cement, whatever the case is, I would stop, I would give them my card and say, hey, you may not be ready now, but when you are, I want to put my name in the hat. My name's Chris Love, I own Love's Asphalt, and I am your guy. So I did this for 2 years, about a year and a half, until I realized my return on time wasn't doing as good as I wanted to. I was batting about a 250, right? So I was batting about a quarter average. Every, you know, if I did 100 businesses, I would usually get about 25 to respond, and out of that 25 to respond, I would probably close like 5 of them. So in the odds, you know, I could do 100 businesses in maybe a week, then it would take a few weeks. So it wasn't good odds for me. So what I did was I went to our local attractions area, and I got a map of the parish, of the county, depending on where you're watching this from, whether it's a parish or county. So I went there and I got a map, and it had all the roads in the cities, and it was all blocked off, you know, because we have little towns. You know, Lafayette is the big town, and Scott, and a couple other places. You know, they're like the suburbs that make up. So day one, boy, I'd grab my black marker. I'd go down a 5-6 mile stretch of road. This is the day I will attack every business on this road. And I went to every business, parking lot to parking lot. When I tell you every business, I drove one side of the road in the morning, ate lunch, turned around and drove the other side of the road in the afternoon, and knocked on every door. Opened the door. How you guys doing? This is my card. This is what I do. If you ever need anything, call me. I'm your guy. I may not be the best price all the time, but I will give you the best work I can provide. And here's my cell phone number. You can call me anytime. So it took me about another 6 months, guys. So this is a 2-year journey to get to the point to where I've achieved in the last year. People's like, oh man, you're hustling so hard, you're getting all these big jobs and all this stuff. But nobody, and it's my fault because I was more focused on getting business rather than documenting my failures or documenting the time it takes. But it took me 2 years on my own, nobody helping, just getting it, grinding every day. Nobody was out there doing sales calls with me. Nobody was out there knocking down doors with me. Nobody was there funding me. Like, I had to pay for my own gas, my own food, everything. And it took 2 years for that first, you know, I got 2 apartments. I would average about an apartment a year. So for the first 2 years, I did a big striping job on an apartment. The second year, I did, what was it? Some patching work, some small stuff. So after that second year, it was late into the second year, my phone rang, and it was my first apartment overlay, my first big job. And this was an apartment that I bidded, that I went and knocked on their door the previous year. They called me 6 months later to do a bid. Then 6 months later, they called to say they accepted the bid. So it was almost a year and a half of work, a year and a few months of work to get that one contract. But after that, the 2 years that I put in before, the phone never stopped ringing. And it still hasn't stopped ringing today. I received 4 phone calls this week about 2 large subdivisions. 2 has been residential asphalt overlays. I've sealed the deal with probably in contracts about 700,000 square feet of seal coating that is going to take place sometime between the months of May and July. But it took, you know, it took that long. And guys, March, sometime soon, man, is 3 years. 3 years. 3 years. Dedicate 2 years of your life to nothing but eat, sleep, and marketing. Eat, sleep, and getting your ass out there. Don't be afraid of rejection, and knock on every door. If you're scared of what other people think, hang up your fucking shit and go get a job, because you can't make it in this market. I'm telling you that, brutally honest. If you're scared to go knock on every single door with the confidence that you are the person, hang it up, because you don't have it. And it's better to hang it up and get a job than to continuously fail over and over and over again. It takes failure to get to success, but if you're never going to overcome that fear, if you're not going to overcome it, hang it up, because it takes that overcoming to make it. So I failed, guys, at 3 other businesses. At 3 other businesses, I failed miserably, lost everything, had to get a job, until finally one day I woke up and I said, it's not going to happen again, and it's not going to. Guys, I hope you took something out of it, man. I hope a little bit of my ranting and raving has given you some motivation to get off your ass and go out and make your business something that you want it to be. Please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Chris Love, LAS LLC, Instagram, Love's Asphalt Solutions, Facebook. Appreciate you guys.